Sir, go like this.
Then I can see. Okay, pleiotropy. You all know what is pleiotropy. Last time we had seen. Before studying pleiotropy, okay, before doing pleiotropy, we'll know what is polygenic inheritance. What is polygenic inheritance? Poly means many. Genic means genes. Means many genes control one character. Polygenic inheritance is many genes control one character. The best example is that ABC. That is skin color. Capital A, capital B, capital C, capital A, capital B, capital C. If all are dominant, then what will be the color? There will be more production of which pigment? Melanin. If all the genes are dominant, there will be more production of melanin, so it will be the darkest. If it is half, capital A, capital B, capital C, small a, small b, small c, then it will be intermediate. And if all are small, there will be no production of melanin, so it will be called as albino. So negro, intermediate, and albino. So here this is pleiotropy, means one single gene. From here picture you can see one single gene. There are different traits. It controls many traits. So that is called as pleiotropy. Okay, write that pleiotropy word and write this one gene, many. See this. Now if there is mutation in this beta globulin gene, that is sickle cell anemia, what will happen? There will be blindness, liver failure, and heart attack. Although it is single gene mutation, but effect are many. The phenotypic changes are many. Although there is only one change in the genotype, but phenotypic changes are many. There will be color blindness, liver failure, and heart attack. Next is pleiotropism in phenylketonuria. Okay, this is there in the syllabus and very important part. One gene, many characters. First of all, pleiotropism is one gene will control many characters. Example is PKU. PKU is full form is phenylketonuria. Now this is autosomal recessive character. What do you mean by recessive character? It's not dominant. That means it will be expressed when it will be expressed. When these recessive characters are usually expressed, it is a recessive character. When it will be expressed?
Maybe in the offspring.
In the offspring, but when? Is it homozygous or heterozygous? Heterozygous will be one capital, one small. Small is recessive, capital is dominant. So, what character will be shown? Dominant or recessive?
Dominant.
Dominant. Homozygous is, it can be either both capital or both small. In case of dominant, it is both capital. In case of recessive, both are small. So when these recessive characters are expressed, when it is homozygous recessive, means on chromosome 12 pair, both the genes should be recessive. Okay, both the genes should be recessive. Now, this type of character, no, they are mostly carrier. Carrier in the sense, they will carry the disease. Means one dominant and one recessive. Now, father is dominant and father is having one dominant and one recessive. Mother is having also same, one dominant and one recessive. So, there are chances that the offspring will get both the recessive. Okay, if father is having one dominant, one recessive. Mother is having one dominant, one recessive. In combination, what we can get? Dominant, dominant, one combination. Second combination, dominant from father, recessive from mother. Third combination, dominant from mother, recessive from father. And fourth combination, recessive from mother, recessive from father. When both are recessive, that time this disease will be shown. That means the disease will be transferred from parents to the offspring if both the parents are carrier. Now, mutant gene. The mutant gene that is on chromosome 12 fails to code for an enzyme called phenylalanine hydroxylase. Okay, there is a mutant gene which fails to code for phenylalanine hydroxylase. Mostly these enzymes, their names end with AS. Cellulase, pectinase, protease, maltase, lactase, any sugar, sucrase, fructase, okay, AS. So this mutant gene, that is, there will be mutation in the 12 chromosome gene which fails to code for phenylalanine hydroxylase. Now, because this gene is not working, what will happen? This phenylalanine will get accumulated in the body. Usually what happens if this gene is there, this phenylalanine is broken down to tyrosine. Okay, next slide it is given. So if this phenylalanine is not broken, it gets accumulated in the body fluids like blood, sweat and CSF. What is CSF? CSF. It is related to nervous system. CSF. S for in nervous system. S for
Sensory.
which are the two main main division of your this nervous system? Which are the two main parts of the nervous system? Brain and spinal cord. So S for spinal. C for which is the biggest part of the brain? Cerebrum. Cerebrospinal fluid.
Cerebrospinal.
Okay. So this accumulation.
50 ends. Blood, sweat, and blood, sweat, and
Okay, that fluid. Okay. So CSF. CSF is cerebrospinal fluid. So imagine if it gets accumulated in CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, obviously it will damage the brain. Now this abnormal breakdown, usually what happens, phenylalanine is completely broken down to tyrosine. But if it is half broken down, it forms phenylketone. Okay, phenylketone. Okay, this phenylalanine, if it is incompletely broken down, you get phenylketone, which is in urea. That's why the word phenylketonuria. Now, such persons will have fair skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. Now, can you all explain how it is Pleiotropism? Although there is change in one gene, what you can get? The last you can see there are multiple traits which are affected. You get fair skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. So, although it should only be here, phenylalanine. Okay, but it is here. Now, here you can see. Okay, just now I had explained this. This is chromosome 12 and this is that PAH gene. What is PAH? Phenylalanine hydroxylase. PAH is phenylalanine hydroxylase. Now this is phenylalanine hydroxylase. Usually it is broken down to tyrosine, which is not harmful for the body. But what happens if there is mutation on this chromosome? Then this is broken down to P-phenylketone. Now here you can see this is unaffected mother and unaffected father. Means they will carry the gene. Okay, half part is showing that they carry the gene. Half white means they are normal. They are normal, but they are carrier. So this is mother, half carrier. One side it is okay, but other side it is white. Means one chromosome is dominant, the other chromosome pair is recessive. So blue and blue you can get affected. So one child will be affected. Blue and white, you will get blue and white, again carrier. Blue and so this blue and this white, again carrier, and this white and this white unaffected. So this is what it can happen in your carrier. Mostly if the mother and father is carrier, obviously one child will be affected. Okay, chances are, it is just chances. Means what is the ratio? 1 out of 4 child will be affected. 1 out of 1:4. How many? What is the ratio for carrier?
1:3.
Yeah, 1:3 or 1/4. 1:3 ratio of 1/4. Carrier chances will be half. Half of them will be carrier. Next, pleiotropism in P. Example it is. We studied what is pleiotropism. One gene controls many characters. We have to study 3 examples. One is pleiotropism in PKU. Then second one is pleiotropism in P. And one in sickle cell anemia. Now, pleiotropism in P is very easy. Gene which controls shape of the seed. Now, which are the 2 shapes of the seed? Round and wrinkled. Also controls the size of the starch or the size of the grain. Okay. So, these are the 2 shapes, round and wrinkled. The gene which controls these shapes, round and wrinkled, also controls the size of the starch grain. Different size starch grain. Okay, in Drosophilla, if there is white pigmentation, normally this is wild type. Wild type means naturally occurring is red eye. But if there is mutation and if there is white eye, Drosophilla, what is Drosophilla? Fruit fly. Okay, normally what happens if there is red eye, but if there is mutation and if there is white eye pigmentation will lead to depigmentation in many other parts of the body. Depigmentation means the color will be lost. Although it should affect only white eye, but this mutation also leads to change in many other parts of the body color. That is called pleiotropy. One change, but many affect. Then linkage and recombination. New part, just write this linkage and recombination. You all have written here. Now, this was given by Thomas Hunt Morgan. Okay, in 1910, when he was observing Drosophilla, okay, when he was observing Drosophilla, he found one Drosophilla had white eye. Normally, what is the color? Red eye. But he found the color of the eye was white. So he started working on that. He also found that this white eye was mostly given to the males. The white eye character was mostly found in the males. So there was some linkage of this white eye to the male. Now, how we can differentiate male and female based on chromosome? X and Y, that is the sex chromosome. So that was something like X-linked inheritance. Okay. Now here you can see Drosophilla. It is usually red eye, yellow body, okay, brown body, red eye, brown body. Now Drosophilla melanogaster, full name Drosophilla melanogaster, commonly called as fruit fly. Usually it is red eye, brown body. It is sex-linked gene. What he was studying was a gene that is sex-linked. Now, why Morgan got interested in Drosophilla? Okay. Thomas Hunt Morgan and fruit flies discovered sex-linked trait. Recessive white eyes are more common in male fruit flies. These white eyes, they were more common in male fruit flies. Females have to be homozygous recessive to have white eye. Males need not be recessive allele for the trait. Now let me explain this. Female have to be homozygous recessive. Now this is what type of inheritance? Sex link. Females usually have which type of sex chromosome? X and X. Now this white eye character was present on X. And this is mutant. Mutant are usually recessive. This is caused due to mutation. So that will be mostly recessive. So what happens if both are X and in one X there is Y, that is red eye, and on one X there is Y. So which character will be expressed in female?
The red one.
Red one, because red is dominant. Female have 2 X chromosome. In one X, if it is red, and on the other X it is white. Which character is dominant? Red. But male, how many X chromosomes?
1.
1. So if it is one white, the male will be white. There is no other X chromosome to dominate here. In male, there is only one X chromosome. In female, there is 2 X chromosomes. That is, there is 5. there is fighting between the chromosome that I will dominate. But in males, only one X chromosome. That's why female have to be homozygous recessive. What is homozygous recessive? Both the X will have, both the X should have which type of gene to show white character? White gene. To show white character, both the X chromosome should have WW, white character. But male, there is no need of, there is only one recessive allele for the trait. Only one. Because this is which type of inheritance? It is X-linked inheritance. Now in sex-linked inheritance, we have either X-linked inheritance or which Y-linked. But here it was X-linked inheritance. Male have only one X. So if on that X, if there is W, then it will be white. But females, there are two X. One is red, other is white. It will be red. Now let's see this one. Cross similar to dihybrid. Who was the first one to carry out this dihybrid cross?
That guy.
Who is that guy?
Monk he was.
Monk. He was a monk. What is the name? Johann Gregor Mendel. Okay. So it was Gregor Johann Mendel who was first to carry out this dihybrid cross. Now, which two characters did Mendel use?
One was P.
P plant only used, but which two characters?
Color.
Color and
Shape.
shape. It was round, wrinkled, yellow, green. These two characters. That is round, wrinkle, and yellow, green. Okay. Wrinkled green, red, round yellow. Round yellow he crossed with wrinkled green. Then phenotypic ratio in F2 generation was 9:3:3:1. This was the ratio, and this was accepted by all the biologists. But what happened when Morgan carried the same experiment, he did not get this ratio. Okay. What Morgan did, he crossed white yellow with red brown. White yellow eye color with red brown. Brown body, red eye. White yellow, white eye, yellow body with red and brown. Which is the wild one? Wild. Means generally which you will see mostly common, the red one. Red eye was more common. Red brown is the wild one and yellow white is the mutant one. Okay. What he found, what will happen as per law of independent assortment? What is law of independent assortment? The genes are free to separate. The genes are free to separate. Okay. When we did cross with round and yellow, wrinkled green, we got 4 different types of phenotypes. It was round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. And the ratio was 9:3:3:1. Now here what we have to get is this. Yellow body and red eye. Yellow body, white eye. Brown body, red eye, and brown body, white eye. Okay. But we didn't get this. Okay, sorry. Capital W, Y will be for brown. Because Y is dominant. Capital Y is for brown because it is dominant. Capital W is for red. So here brown, white, yellow, brown, yellow, white. This is what we have to get as per Mendel. But what happened? When Morgan observed carefully, he didn't get that ratio. 2 genes didn't separate only. 2 genes didn't separate. Okay. Now, why did still separate? Okay, will the offspring be similar or different as compared to the parents if the genes do not separate? They will be similar. If the genes do not separate, the parents and the offspring will look similar. If the genes do not separate, because there will be no crossing over or no recombination. If the parental gene combination, then linkage. If the parental gene there is combination, okay. in parental gene combination, there was linkage. Means the whatever parental gene characters were there, those same characters were found in offspring gene. That means there is linkage. What is linkage? Linkage. To stay together. That is tendency of a gene. Two genes will always stay together. They will never separate. Okay. Now, in non-parental gene, there is recombination. So, this topic of linkage and recombination means if the genes separate, then what can happen? They can recombine with each other, with other genes. But if the genes cannot separate, they cannot recombine. That means there will be linked genes, that is linkage and recombination. Okay, for example, white eye and yellow body. White and eye and yellow body, there was just 1.3% recombination. Out of 100%, there was only 1.3% recombination. White eye and yellow body. But white and miniature wing, white eye and miniature wing, wings were small. There was 37.2% recombination. So which one is showing linkage? Which one is showing linkage? Second one is showing linkage.
It's showing recombination.
Recombination. More recombination, less linkage. Less recombination, more linkage. So this person called Alfred Henry Sturtevant, he was the student of Morgan, Thomas Hunt Morgan. What he did there are 4 chromosomes. Okay, on Drosophilla there are 4 chromosomes. He did the mapping of the chromosome based on frequency of recombination. He did mapping. Mapping means he arranged the genes on the chromosome. These genes you can see: yellow body, white body, female sterile, sepia eyes, scarlet eyes, black body, purple eyes. That he arranged on the chromosome based on frequency of recombination. Now you tell, will the genes be close if recombination is more? Genes will be close to each other if the recombination is more, or they have to be far. If they are close, will they separate?
Different if they are close, then
Yeah, different. Yeah, if different genes, for example, yellow and white, the genes were close to each other. That's why there was less recombination. See, white and yellow body, white eye, yellow body, less recombination. That means these genes will be close to each other on the chromosome. Whereas white eye miniature, there was lot of recombination, means they will be placed very far apart. So this is how he has placed. He studied different characters. He studied the frequency of recombination, and then he has placed the genes. Now let us see that white eye and yellow body. See, white eyes, yellow body. Okay, white eye, yellow body. But white eye, and which is the other character which is very far?
red eye.
White eye and miniature. Miniature wings. You can see here, miniature wings, white eye. They are very far apart. That means these two can easily separate and do recombination, but these two cannot separate. That is called linkage. Okay. So one more slide is there. This we'll do next time. This you all got, no, for today's whatever was explained. Okay. So we'll stop here.